All right, Ben's up. He says, hey, Bradley and guys, on episode 148, you talked about 27-minute here's what I see video you put together for a referral client who was very impressed. What info did you look at to show him? What tools did you use to get the info? Okay, Ben, I just do, usually those type of videos, those like analysis videos aren't that long. Sometimes they are, sometimes they aren't. It depends. It depends on how valuable the client or prospect may be to me. So, sometimes I'll put more effort in than others. But in this case, for something like that, usually what I'll do is just, first I'll go into some keyword research because I start with that and I'll explain, like, especially, it depends on the prospect. If the prospect has been around for a while, they've had a digital presence, they're already probably going to know a lot of like what has been working, or they've done AdWords in the past or whatever. So this particular client had really very like non-existent digital presence. They had a website, but it was very poorly done. And it's because they had been relying on a couple of, they're an HVAC contractor and they had been a commercial HVAC contractor. And they've been relying on primarily the majority of their work coming from large contracts with like franchise type, chain stores. And they had a couple of their biggest contracts like drop. And so now they're scrambling for leads. And that's what what part of the 27-minute video was me explaining to them that they should have they got fat, dumb, and comfortable, and fat, dumb, and happy, living off those big contracts, but they had no backup plan in case those contracts didn't renew. And that's exactly what happened. And I said, you should never rely on just one source of leads. You should start building your lead funnel regardless, because that way you always have a pipeline full of leads in case one source or two sources dry up, you've got multiple sources. So that said, I usually start with just keyword research stuff. I show like what keyword opportunities I think exist, so that they may not have been aware of, or that I can look at their site and tell that they're not targeting certain keyword opportunities. So I start with that. Then I usually show them their site, and I don't criticize anything that they're doing. You never do that, because sometimes people have an emotional connection to their website and or to their digital presence, period. And if you start to criticize stuff, you can lose them. So what you do is you try to, what do you do? Call it a compliment sandwich, which is like compliment, criticism, compliment, that type of stuff. And so, I'll kind of like analyze their presence, their website, any social media they have, the landing pages, all that different kind of stuff. I'll look at it and I'll just do a brief analysis and say, you know what, this is really cool. I like what you did here. However, I think you could get better results if you did this. And then I just go through piece by piece. And I just explain each thing that I found, and I always try to do like that same method where I don't ever like talk down as far as like what they've got. I just try to explain how it could be improved, and that's all it is. As far as the tools, I just use, again, the exact same process I always talk about for keyword research. I show them Google Trends to show them Google data, and what's nice about Trends is it gives you graphics, right? Like graphs and charts and things like that, so you can actually show related searches and the correlation between the keywords and that kind of stuff. You can show all that, and it comes out really nice. So I use Google Trends, and then I use for local stuff, which is where obviously when I'm sending out a analysis video to a client, it's, at least for me, about 99% of them are going to be local based. I use Bright Local for reporting, for showing like citation reports, for showing what they call the Google Local Wizard or whatever it is in there, which will show you like the report. And there's also local ranking report. So after I do the keyword research, I'll go input all the keywords into Bright Local. I'll generate a report. Even though they're not a client, I still add them as a client in Bright Local. I'll generate a keyword report, a citation report. All of those, they have a full SEO analysis report inside of Bright Local that's a really good report. And so I'll generate those three. It's very simple. I just enter their details in. I hit the generate button. It takes about 10 minutes. Then I get all three reports back, and I put all of those into an email along with the video where I just go through each one of the reports and point out and explain what the reports are saying. And that's it. So it basically comes out to keyword research, showing opportunities that I think exist that they're not capitalizing on, analyzing their digital assets, showing where I see some improvement could be made, and then walking through the three reports that Bright Local generates. And Bright Local is an incredibly affordable service, guys. If you're doing any sort of local, I highly recommend it. Okay. Again, another good question. You guys got great questions today.